A college degree is the best investment you can make. That's the $1.7 trillion lie that's keeping millions trapped in student debt, while others are building six-figure incomes without spending 4 years and a fortune on education. Today, I'm comparing the actual numbers. $100,000 plus and 4 years for a degree versus $1,000 to $5,000 and 3 to 6 months for alternative paths that are creating more financial success stories than universities want to admit. I've interviewed dozens who've done it, and I'm sharing their exact blueprints, including the 90-day roadmap that's helped my viewers increase their income by an average of 43%. The college degree myth. Shocking ROI numbers revealed. Is a college degree really worth it? For decades, we've been told that higher education is the golden ticket to financial success. But what if I told you that the actual numbers paint a much different picture? Let's dive into the real cost of that fancy piece of paper. And I'm warning you, these numbers might make you rethink everything you thought you knew about college. When we talk about the cost of college, most people just think about tuition. But that's only the beginning of this financial nightmare. The average 4-year degree at a public university now costs around $102,000, while private universities average a whopping $215,000. And those numbers? They're climbing about 7% every single year, way faster than inflation. But wait, it gets worse. We're completely forgetting about lost income. While you're hitting the books for 4 years, you're not earning a full-time salary. That's another $120,000 to $160,000 you're missing out on. Add in the interest on student loans, which now average over $37,000 per graduate. And we're talking about a total investment that easily exceeds $300,000 for many students. Oh, and don't forget those sneaky hidden fees that universities love to slip in: technology fees, activity fees, facility fees, graduation fees. It's like they've been taking lessons from the airline industry on how to nickel and dime their customers. Now here's where it gets really depressing. Let's look at what you actually get for all that money. The median starting salary for recent college graduates? Just $55,260. Even worse, that number has only increased by about 14% over the last decade when adjusted for inflation. Meanwhile, college costs have skyrocketed by over 25% during the same period. The math isn't mathing, folks. Your parents' generation had it so much better. In the 1980s, a student could work a summer job to pay for a year of college. A summer job. Today, you'd need to work full-time at $15 an hour for nearly 2 years straight just to cover a single year at a public university. The ROI calculation has completely fallen apart. Let's talk about those general degrees that used to be a ticket to the middle class. A bachelor's in communications, psychology, or business administration just doesn't carry the weight it once did. In today's hyper-specialized economy, employers are looking for specific skills and experience, things you often don't get from sitting in lecture halls for 4 years. And automation? It's not just coming for factory workers anymore. AI and automation are increasingly threatening jobs that traditionally required degrees. Banking, accounting, paralegal work, and even entry-level marketing positions are being transformed or eliminated by technology. That degree you spent 4 years earning might be preparing you for a job that won't exist in 10 years. Here's a statistic that universities definitely don't want you to see. According to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, a staggering 41% of recent college graduates are working in jobs that don't even require a college degree. That's nearly half of graduates who spent years and mountains of cash on credentials they're not even using. Meet Sarah, a 27-year-old with a bachelor's in sociology from a respected state university. She graduated with $32,000 in student loans and landed an entry-level position paying $42,000. After rent, loan payments, and basic living expenses, she has virtually nothing left each month. 5 years after graduation, she's still in essentially the same financial position, watching her debt barely decrease while her friends who chose trade schools or alternative career paths are buying homes and investing. Or take Michael, who did everything right, graduated with honors, networked constantly, and landed a job at a prestigious marketing firm. But his $58,000 salary in a high-cost city, combined with $65,000 in student debt, means he's living paycheck to paycheck with no clear path to financial freedom. He's part of a growing cohort of broke professionals, people with impressive-sounding careers who are financially struggling. These aren't isolated cases. A recent survey found that 63% of millennials with college degrees regret taking on student loans. Think about that. Nearly 2/3 of graduates wish they had made different choices about their education. But here's the exciting part. There are alternatives that deliver better financial outcomes with far less investment. Tech boot camps that cost $15,000 and take 12 weeks are placing graduates in jobs paying $85,000 plus. Specialized certifications in fields like digital marketing can be completed in months rather than years, opening doors to careers with limitless growth potential. And entrepreneurial paths leveraging online platforms are creating six-figure earners with zero formal credentials. The truth is, we're in the middle of a massive shift in how careers are built. Companies like Google, Apple, IBM, and Tesla have all dropped degree requirements for many positions, focusing instead on skills and proven abilities. This shift is opening doors for people willing to take alternative paths. So what's the actual financial damage of choosing college over these alternatives? Let's do the math. If you take the total cost of college, including lost income and interest, let's call it $300,000 conservatively, and compare it to the ROI of alternative paths, the difference is staggering. Many alternative education paths cost under $20,000 and can be completed in 3 to 6 months, letting you start earning years earlier while avoiding massive debt. Over a 10-year period, this decision could easily represent $1 million difference in net worth. Yes, you read that right. Choosing the college path could potentially cost you $1 million compared to more efficient alternatives when you factor in earlier earning potential, compound investment returns, and avoiding debt interest. And we haven't even talked about the opportunity cost of spending 4 critical years of your young adult life sitting in classrooms instead of building real-world skills and professional networks. Those years represent an invaluable period of energy, creativity, and risk tolerance that many people never get back. Now, I'm not saying college is worthless for everyone. If you're pursuing a career that genuinely requires a degree, like medicine, engineering, or law, then yes, college makes sense. But for the vast majority of career paths, there are now faster, cheaper, and more effective alternatives that lead to equal or better financial outcomes. Digital marketing, from $0 to $90,000 plus in 6 months. Let's talk about digital marketing, the career path that's leaving traditional marketing degrees in the dust. Speaking of faster and more effective alternatives, companies like Cisco, Amazon, and Google are hiring digital marketers at $90,000 plus salaries while barely glancing at their education credentials. There's a massive disconnect between what marketing departments actually need and what marketing degrees teach, and savvy professionals are exploiting this gap to skip 4 years of college while still landing premium paychecks. Here's what's fascinating. While marketing graduates are sending out hundreds of applications for $40,000 entry-level positions, self-taught digital marketers are fielding multiple job offers at nearly double that salary. How is this possible? It comes down to a fundamental shift in how the marketing industry evaluates talent. In traditional marketing, your degree and where you got it from used to be the golden ticket. But digital marketing flipped that model upside down. This industry moves so rapidly that by the time universities update their curriculum, the strategies they're teaching are already outdated. What matters instead is your ability to deliver measurable results, increased website traffic, higher conversion rates, better ROI on ad spend. Companies don't care if you learned this in a classroom or your bedroom. They just want someone who can make the numbers go up. Think about the costs and time investment for a moment. A marketing degree will set you back at least $100,000 and 4 years of your life. Meanwhile, a self-taught digital marketer can gain all the necessary skills in just 3 to 6 months for under $2,000. Even better, many of these skills can be learned through free resources while you build your portfolio on the side. Let me break down exactly what skills are in hot demand right now. SEO expertise, the ability to get websites ranking higher in search results, remains one of the most valuable skills you can learn. Companies are desperate for people who understand how to navigate Google's algorithms and drive organic traffic. Then there's PPC, pay-per-click, advertising. Managing campaigns on platforms like Google Ads, where every dollar spent needs to show a return on investment. Analytics is another critical skill set. Businesses are drowning in data, but starving for insights. If you can set up proper tracking, analyze the numbers, and translate them into actionable strategies, you've got a skill that few marketing graduates possess despite 4 years of education. Content strategy and social media management round out the core skills, with a special emphasis on platforms that offer the best ROI for specific industries. The real kicker? Marketing automation tools. Companies are investing heavily in platforms like HubSpot, Marketo, and MailChimp, but they lack people who know how to use them effectively. Become proficient in these tools, and you'll have employers fighting over you. So how do you actually learn these skills without spending 4 years in college? Start with Google Digital Garage. It's completely free and provides certification directly from Google. Coursera offers professional certificates in digital marketing for a fraction of college tuition. Udemy has specialized courses on everything from SEO to Facebook ads for as little as $12 when they run sales, which is practically every other week. The beauty of digital marketing education is that many of the best resources come directly from the platforms you'll be working with. Google, Facebook, and LinkedIn all offer free certification programs that teach you exactly how their advertising platforms work. Knowledge that's often more current and practical than what you'd learn in a university setting. But here's where most people go wrong. They think learning is enough. It's not. In digital marketing, your portfolio speaks louder than any degree or certification. You need to show real results, not just course completion certificates. Let me share how real people have made this transition. Take Sarah, who was working as a barista when she decided to learn digital marketing. Instead of just taking courses, she approached a local coffee shop and offered to manage their social media for free. Within 3 months, she increased their Instagram following by 400% and drove a measurable uptick in foot traffic. She documented everything, her strategy, the content calendar she created, and most importantly, the results. That single case study landed her a $62,000 job at a marketing agency despite having zero formal education in marketing. Or consider Mike, who learned SEO through free YouTube tutorials. He started a personal blog about fishing, his hobby, and applied everything he learned. After getting his blog to rank for several competitive keywords, he approached a fishing equipment company and showed them exactly how he'd done it. They hired him at $70,000 to manage their digital presence, and within 2 years, he was earning over $90,000. These aren't exceptional cases. They represent a blueprint anyone can follow. The key is building a portfolio that demonstrates results, even if you have to create those projects yourself or work for free initially. Here's a simple portfolio building strategy. Identify 3 types of businesses you'd like to work with. Create a sample campaign for each one, including the strategy, content examples, and projected results based on industry benchmarks. Then approach similar businesses with a specific proposal to improve their digital presence. Offer to work on a trial basis, either for free or at a reduced rate, with clear metrics for success. Document everything meticulously. Before and after analytics, screenshots of improved rankings, engagement metrics. These are your new credentials. When you can walk into an interview and show exactly how you increased a company's conversion rate by 32%, no one cares if you have a marketing degree. The salary trajectory in this field is remarkable. Entry-level digital marketing positions typically start around $39,000 to $60,000, already competitive with what many college graduates earn. But the progression is where it gets interesting. Mid-level digital marketers with just 2 to 3 years of experience can command anywhere from $66,000 to over $123,000, depending on their specialty and results track record. The median salary for digital marketing managers sits at $89,534, with top companies paying well above that figure. And unlike many industries where reaching higher income brackets requires decades of experience, in digital marketing, you can hit 6 figures within 2 to 4 years if you specialize in high-demand areas like conversion rate optimization or paid search management. What's even more appealing about this career path is the flexibility it offers. The skills you learn in digital marketing are easily transferable to freelancing or starting your own agency. Many digital marketers start with a full-time job to build experience, then transition to consulting where they can earn $100 to $200 per hour working with multiple clients. Aviation careers, the overlooked path to $120,000 plus. While digital marketing offers impressive flexibility, there's a career path that literally takes your income potential to new heights. Let me introduce you to the world of commercial aviation, an industry where you can earn a median salary of $121,430 without spending 4 years in college or accumulating massive student debt. Yes, you read that right. Commercial pilots are making 6 figures with just a high school diploma and specialized training. When most people think about becoming a pilot, they picture 2 main pathways: military service or an expensive aviation degree from a university. This misconception has kept countless potential pilots from pursuing this lucrative career. The reality? You don't need either of those backgrounds to sit in the cockpit of a commercial aircraft. Let's break down what you actually need to become a commercial pilot. The basic requirement is a commercial pilot's license, which only requires a high school diploma or GED as your educational foundation. From there, it's all about completing your flight training and passing the necessary exams, both written and practical. No 4-year degree required. The timeline to becoming a commercial pilot might surprise you. While traditional degrees lock you into a 4-year commitment, most aspiring pilots can complete their training in just 12 to 18 months. The exact timeline depends on how frequently you can train and your personal progression through the program. But even at the longer end of that range, you're looking at less than half the time investment of a traditional college degree. But flying planes must be expensive to learn, right? It's a fair question, and yes, there is a significant investment. Flight training typically costs between $50,000 and $80,000. That's not pocket change, but let's put it in perspective. It's substantially less than what many students are paying for 4-year degrees, which often exceed $100,000 before even factoring in living expenses and lost income. What makes aviation particularly attractive right now is the severe pilot shortage facing the industry. Airlines are scrambling to fill cockpits, with projections showing a demand for 34,000 new pilots by 2025. This shortage is creating unprecedented opportunities for new pilots to advance quickly through the ranks and secure positions that would have taken much longer to reach in previous decades. This pilot shortage isn't just creating jobs. It's transforming how airlines recruit, train, and compensate their pilots. Many regional airlines now offer significant signing bonuses, tuition reimbursement programs, and accelerated paths to major carriers. Some are even creating their own pipeline programs to help aspiring pilots overcome the financial barriers to entry. What's particularly encouraging about aviation is how many successful pilots started their careers later in life. The industry is full of stories about people who switched to aviation in their late 20s or 30s after working in completely unrelated fields. Age truly isn't a barrier to entry in this profession, as long as you can pass the medical requirements and complete the training. Take James, for example, who spent 8 years working in retail management before deciding he wanted more from his career. At 31, he began flight training while continuing to work part-time. 18 months later, he had his commercial license and was flying for a regional carrier. Within 5 years, he doubled his previous retail salary and now enjoys a schedule that gives him 15 to 18 days off each month. Or consider Maria, who was working as an administrative assistant earning $42,000 annually. She used a personal loan to fund her flight training, and now, 4 years later, she's flying for a major carrier earning over $110,000 with a clear path to exceeding $200,000 within the next few years. So what exactly does the path from zero experience to commercial pilot look like? Let me break it down. First, you'll need to obtain your private pilot's license. This is your foundation and typically requires about 40 to 60 hours of flight time. You'll learn the basics of aircraft operation, navigation, and safety procedures. Next comes instrument rating, which teaches you to fly using only your instruments, a critical skill for commercial pilots who often navigate through clouds and challenging weather conditions. After that, you'll work toward your commercial pilot's license, which requires at least 250 hours of flight time. This phase deepens your skills and introduces more complex aircraft operations. Once licensed, most pilots start their professional careers with regional airlines, where you'll typically fly smaller aircraft on shorter routes. This is where you'll build the experience needed to eventually move to major carriers with their larger aircraft and longer routes, and of course, higher salaries. Throughout this process, you'll be accumulating flight hours, the currency of advancement in aviation. The more hours you log, the more opportunities open up, and the higher your earning potential becomes. But how do people afford the initial training costs? It's a valid concern, but there are multiple financing options available. Personal loans are common, but there are also numerous scholarships specifically for aspiring pilots. Many flight schools offer financing plans, and some airlines have begun offering tuition assistance programs to address the pilot shortage. When we look at the return on investment, the numbers are compelling. If you spend $70,000 on flight training and complete it in 15 months, you could be earning a professional pilot's salary less than 2 years after starting your journey. Compare that to spending 4 years and often well over $100,000 on a traditional degree, only to start at entry-level salaries in many fields. The salary progression in aviation is also quite impressive. New commercial pilots typically start at regional airlines earning between $45,000 and $70,000, but that quickly increases with experience. After a few years, pilots can move to major carriers where first-year salaries often exceed $90,000. By your 5th year at a major airline, you're likely looking at earnings well into the 6-figure range, with senior captains at major airlines earning $200,000 to $300,000 annually. Beyond the salary, pilots enjoy unique lifestyle benefits. The scheduling often allows for several consecutive days off, creating mini vacations between work periods. Many pilots report working just 15 days a month while earning full-time salaries that exceed what many professionals make working traditional 5-day weeks. There's also the travel benefits. Not just the experience of seeing different cities as part of your job, but the often overlooked airline employee benefits that allow pilots and their families to fly for free or at heavily discounted rates on their time off. What's particularly compelling about the aviation career path is the certainty it offers. While many industries face uncertain futures due to automation and AI, commercial aviation is projected to need human pilots for decades to come. Despite advances in automation, passengers, regulators, and insurance companies continue to require human pilots in control of commercial aircraft. The demand is so strong that many regional airlines are creating career pathway programs that take candidates with zero experience and provide a structured progression to becoming a commercial pilot. These programs often include mentorship, conditional skills, the 6-month blueprint to $85,000 plus. That structured progression in aviation isn't the only fast track to 6 figures without a degree. The tech industry has created an even more accessible pathway that's disrupting traditional education models completely. With just 3 to 6 months of focused training, people are landing tech jobs with starting salaries that make many 4-year degree holders question their life choices. Here's the shocking reality. Companies are absolutely desperate for practical tech skills right now. While universities are busy teaching theoretical computer science concepts that might be useful in 5 years, the industry is frantically searching for people who can build actual working products today. This gap between what employers need and what traditional education provides has created a golden opportunity for anyone willing to take an unconventional path. Let's compare approaches. The traditional computer science degree path means 4 years of your life and often over $80,000 in tuition alone. You'll study a broad curriculum covering everything from advanced mathematics to theoretical computer science principles. Yet when you graduate, many employers will still consider you a junior candidate because you lack hands-on experience building real-world applications. Contrast that with today's coding boot camps. These intensive programs condense the most practical, in-demand skills into just 3 to 6 months of hyper-focused training. Rather than spending years on theory, you immediately start building actual projects that employers want to see. The best part, graduates from top boot camps are reporting starting salaries between $65,000 and $85,000, comparable to what many computer science graduates earn after spending 16 times longer in school. But what exactly should I learn? I hear you asking. The tech skills with the highest demand-to-supply ratios right now are web development, UX/UI design, data analytics, and cloud computing. These areas are projected to continue growing significantly, with companies struggling to find qualified candidates despite offering increasingly competitive salaries. Web development remains the most accessible entry point, with front-end developers, the people who build what you actually see and interact with online, particularly in demand. Companies need professionals who can create responsive, user-friendly interfaces using modern frameworks like React and Angular. UX/UI design offers another pathway that's perfect for creative types who enjoy combining aesthetics with problem-solving. Companies have finally realized that poor user experience costs them millions in lost revenue, making UX designers some of the most valued team members. Data analytics has exploded as businesses try to make sense of the massive amounts of information they collect. If you enjoy finding patterns and telling stories with numbers, this field offers tremendous growth potential with relatively low barriers to entry. Cloud computing skills are perhaps the most lucrative right now, with companies desperately seeking professionals who can help them migrate and manage their infrastructure in environments like AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. Now let's talk about how to actually gain these skills. Coding bootcamps are the most structured option, offering intensive, immersive environments where you eat, sleep, and breathe code for several months. These programs typically cost between $15,000 and $20,000, which sounds like a lot until you compare it to the $200,000 plus you might spend on a 4-year degree when factoring in tuition, lost income, and other expenses. Self-directed learning is the most affordable route, with platforms like FreeCodeCamp, the Odin Project, and countless YouTube channels offering comprehensive curriculum completely free. The trade-off is you'll need exceptional self-discipline and might progress more slowly without the structure and accountability of a formal program. Mentorship programs like Springboard and Thinkful offer a middle ground, combining self-paced learning with regular one-on-one guidance from industry professionals. These typically cost less than boot camps while providing more support than purely self-directed options. Project-based learning platforms like Scrimba and Frontend Mentor focus on building real-world projects rather than just completing exercises, helping you develop the portfolio you'll need to land that first job. Speaking of portfolios, this is absolutely critical for breaking into tech without formal credentials. Your portfolio demonstrates what you can actually build, which matters far more to employers than where or how you learned. Successful portfolio development strategies include creating personal projects that solve real problems, contributing to open source projects, and building a strong online presence through platforms like GitHub. Take Jake, for example. After working in retail for 5 years, he spent 6 months learning web development through a combination of free resources and a part-time boot camp. He built a custom inventory management tool as his capstone project, directly addressing a pain point he'd experienced in his retail job. That single project demonstrated both his technical skills and his business understanding, landing him a junior developer position at $72,000, nearly triple his previous salary. Or consider Mia, who had been working as an executive assistant. She invested in a 12-week UX design bootcamp and created a comprehensive portfolio showcasing redesigns of popular apps with detailed explanations of her process. 3 months after completing the program, she secured a UX designer role at a fintech startup for $80,000 annually. The pattern here is clear. Successful career changers identify in-demand skills, focus intensely on practical learning, build impressive portfolios that showcase real-world applications, and position their previous experience as a unique advantage rather than a liability. What's particularly striking about these stories is the speed of transformation. Within a year, and often in as little as 6 months, these individuals completely changed their career trajectories and income potential. They didn't need 4 years of college or mountains of debt to make it happen. The most in-demand skills you can learn in 6 months that consistently lead to $85,000 plus starting salaries include React development, UX/UI design for SaaS products, AWS cloud architecture, and data visualization with tools like Tableau. These specific skill combinations hit the sweet spot of being learnable in a reasonable time frame while addressing urgent market needs. But I want to be completely honest with you. This path isn't for everyone. It requires intense focus, the ability to push through frustration when you hit roadblocks, and you will, and the confidence to put yourself out there when applying for jobs. You'll need to embrace continuous learning, as tech skills require regular updating to stay relevant. The good news is that the tech industry is uniquely meritocratic compared to many other fields. Companies care far more about what you can do than where you learn to do it. Many tech hiring managers have themselves followed unconventional paths and are open to candidates from diverse backgrounds as long as they can demonstrate practical skills. So if you're weighing your options right now, consider this. Instead of spending 4 years and potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars on a degree that may or may not lead to your desired career, you could invest just 6 months and a fraction of that cost to learn skills that are actively sought after right now. The choice seems clear when you look at the numbers. Consulting without credentials, the expertise monetization framework. You wouldn't believe what's happening in the consulting world right now. That specialized knowledge you've gained through years of experience, it might be worth way more than you think. While everyone's chasing tech credentials and coding boot camps, there's a quiet revolution happening where regular people are turning their expertise into 6-figure consulting businesses without a single fancy degree or certification. The consulting industry has undergone a massive transformation. Gone are the days when you needed an MBA from Harvard and years at McKinsey to be taken seriously. Today's businesses are increasingly valuing practical experience and specialized knowledge over prestigious degrees. They're hiring consultants based on one simple criterion. Can you solve their specific problem? Think about it. Companies don't actually care where you learned what you know. They care about whether you can deliver results. This fundamental shift means the consulting world is now wide open to people who would have been locked out just a decade ago. Let me share what's really happening. Major consulting firms across industries are actively dropping degree requirements from their job listings. Instead, they're focusing on candidates who can demonstrate practical problem-solving abilities and specialized knowledge. This isn't just a temporary trend. It's a permanent response to a business world that values real-world results over academic credentials. So what exactly is the expertise monetization framework? It's a 3-step system that turns your existing knowledge into a profitable consulting business. First, identify your valuable knowledge. This is where most people get stuck because they don't recognize the value in what they already know. Your expertise doesn't have to be something traditionally professional like law or finance. It could be your experience overcoming a specific business challenge, your knowledge of an industry niche, or even your ability to navigate complex systems that others find confusing. Look for the problems you've solved that others struggle with. What questions do people regularly ask you? What systems have you mastered that others find difficult? The key is specificity. The more specialized your knowledge, the more valuable it becomes. Second, package your expertise effectively. This is where you transform raw knowledge into something clients can understand and want to pay for. You need to create a clear offering that communicates. Here's the specific problem I solve, here's how I solve it, and here's the value you'll get. This means developing a methodology, a repeatable process that delivers consistent results. Give it a name, break it down into steps, and articulate the specific outcomes clients can expect. When you package your expertise this way, you immediately position yourself as a specialist rather than a generalist, which allows you to charge premium rates. Third, connect with ideal clients. This is about finding the people who already recognize they have the problem you solve and who have the budget to pay for solutions. The most successful non-credentialed consultants don't try to convince skeptics. They focus on prospects who are actively looking for help. Networking has become absolutely crucial for consultants without traditional credentials. But I'm not talking about awkward cocktail parties. I'm talking about strategic relationship building through industry events, professional associations, and online communities where your potential clients already gather. Many successful consultants start by leveraging their personal networks, being active on LinkedIn, and offering free initial consultations to demonstrate their value. These methods allow you to bypass the credential screening that might happen in traditional hiring processes. But what if I don't have any special skills? I hear this all the time, and it's almost never true. Everyone has valuable expertise. They just don't recognize it. Think about the problems you've solved in your career or personal life. Consider the systems you've mastered or the challenges you've overcome. One powerful exercise is to list everything people come to you for help with. These requests reveal where others already see value in your knowledge. Another approach is to identify inefficiencies or frustrations in your industry that you've found ways to address. Let me walk you through the exact steps to land your first consulting clients without credentials. Step 1. Choose a specific problem to solve. The narrower, the better. Helping businesses grow is too vague. Helping local restaurants increase delivery orders by optimizing their presence on food delivery apps is specific and valuable. Step 2. Create case studies from your own experience. Document problems you've solved, the approach you took, and the results you achieved. If you don't have professional examples, create demonstration projects where you solve the problem for yourself or offer to help someone for free in exchange for documenting the results. Step 3. Develop a simple website that focuses on the outcomes you deliver, not your credentials. Include testimonials, case studies, and a clear description of your process. Step 4. Set up a specialized profile on LinkedIn that positions you as an expert in your specific niche. Share valuable content related to your expertise regularly. Step 5. Reach out to potential clients with a value-first approach. Offer a free resource, share an insight about their business, or provide a quick tip they can implement immediately. Step 6. Propose a small initial project to demonstrate value before pursuing larger engagements. This low-risk entry point makes it easier for clients to say yes even without traditional credentials to rely on. Step 7. Deliver exceptional results and request testimonials and referrals, which become your new credentials in the marketplace. You might be thinking this sounds great in theory, but does it actually work? Let me share some real examples of unlikely experts who've built six-figure consulting businesses from specialized knowledge. Consider Sarah, a former restaurant manager who now consults with restaurant owners on optimizing their delivery operations. She noticed that many restaurants were losing money on third-party delivery platforms because they didn't understand the algorithms and fee structures. She now charges $150 per hour, helping restaurants adjust their menus, pricing, and processes specifically for delivery platforms. Or take Marcus, who spent years navigating government procurement systems as a small business owner. He now consults with other small businesses on how to win government contracts, charging $200 per hour for his specialized knowledge of procurement processes that most business owners find overwhelming. Then there's Jessica, who turned her experience overcoming a specific manufacturing challenge into a consulting business, helping other manufacturers solve the same issue. She had no engineering degree, just years of practical experience solving a problem that was costing companies millions. She now charges $250 per hour for her expertise. What these examples have in common is that none of these people had traditional consulting credentials. They simply identified a specific problem they had solved, packaged their solution effectively, and connected with clients who needed their help. This approach works because businesses today are focused on outcomes, not credentials. They want consultants who can demonstrate their ability to solve specific problems and deliver measurable results. If you can show that you've solved a similar problem before, or that you have a proven process for solving it, many clients won't care where you went to school or what certificates you have hanging on your wall. The consulting rates in these specialized fields can be substantial. While general business consultants might charge $50 to $100 per hour, specialists with unique expertise regularly command $200 to $300 plus per hour, even without traditional credentials. That means working just 10 to 15 hours per week could generate a six-figure annual income. So here's your expertise monetization framework in action. Identify a specific problem you can solve based on your unique experience. Package your solution into a clear methodology with defined steps and outcomes. Connect with ideal clients through networks and platforms where they already seek solutions. Start with small projects to prove your value, then scale up to larger engagements and higher rates. AI-powered side hustles. $100 per day with minimal effort. What if I told you there's a way to make $100 a day where you do the work once and get paid repeatedly? The AI revolution isn't just changing how we work. It's creating completely new income streams that generate substantial daily income with minimal effort after initial setup. And here's the exciting part. Regular people with zero coding experience are building these semi-passive income streams in just 5 to 10 hours per week. Let's be honest, traditional side hustles are exhausting. You deliver food for 3 hours, you get paid for 3 hours. You freelance for 5 hours, you get paid for 5 hours. But AI-powered side hustles flip this equation on its head. You put in the work up front to set up systems that continue generating income with minimal maintenance. The average AI side hustle brings in around $44.50 per day, with top performers pulling in $110 daily. That's potential for over $3,000 monthly from activities that practically run themselves once properly established. And unlike traditional businesses that might require thousands in startup costs, most AI side hustles need just $0 to $500 to launch. Let's break down exactly which AI tools are creating these income opportunities. First, there's content generation. Tools like Jasper and Copy.ai transform simple prompts into full-blown articles, blog posts, and social media updates in minutes. Imagine turning a 50-word prompt into a 2,000-word article in under 10 minutes. The content creation process that once took days now takes minutes. Then there's AI-generated art and design, which has become one of the most accessible side hustles. Using tools like DALL-E and Midjourney, you can create unique images and illustrations without traditional design skills. These images can be sold on platforms like Etsy or incorporated into various digital marketing campaigns, dramatically reducing the time typically required for design work. But that's just scratching the surface. AI chatbots represent another promising income stream. By using platforms like Chatfuel or Dialogflow, you can create automated customer service solutions for businesses that generate subscription revenue. Set them up once, and they continuously provide value while you sleep. Let's talk about the business models that work best with these AI tools. The first is enhanced content creation. Bloggers, YouTubers, and social media influencers are using AI to produce 3 to 5 times more content in the same amount of time. This means more opportunities for ad revenue, sponsorships, and affiliate commissions without working longer hours. Digital product development is another goldmine. AI tools help create ebooks, printables, and online courses that sell on autopilot. For example, some entrepreneurs are using AI to generate dot-to-dot books for children that have become bestsellers on Amazon. The process involves minimal design work, but creates products people are willing to pay for repeatedly. E-commerce automation is transforming online stores as well. Tools like Shopify's AI product recommendation plugin help businesses increase sales by suggesting items based on user behavior. Setting up these automated systems creates ongoing value for store owners while requiring minimal maintenance. Service arbitrage is perhaps the most clever model. Some entrepreneurs use AI tools to complete tasks for clients that would traditionally take hours, charging full price while spending a fraction of the time. For example, a freelance writer might charge $300 for a blog post that takes them only 30 minutes to produce with AI assistance, compared to the 4 to 5 hours it would normally require. Let me share some concrete examples of AI side hustles real people are implementing right now. Take James, who started creating AI-generated children's books. He spends about 2 hours developing the concept and prompts, then uses AI to generate the story and illustrations. After some minimal editing, he publishes these books on Amazon KDP, earning $2,500 to $3,500 monthly from his collection of 15 books. His total startup cost? Less than $200 for AI tool subscriptions. Then there's Melissa, who offers AI spokesperson videos for businesses. She uses artificial intelligence to create professional-looking video presentations for small businesses that can't afford traditional video production. By combining AI-generated scripts with synthetic video technology, she creates custom videos in minutes that would typically cost hundreds to produce conventionally. She charges $75 to $110 per video and completes most projects in under 30 minutes, earning an average of $4,200 monthly. Consider Alex, who launched an AI-powered resume optimization service. He uses natural language processing tools to analyze job descriptions and then optimize clients' resumes to better match specific positions. What would take a career coach hours to do manually, he completes in 15 minutes. Charging $45 per resume, he processes 5 to 7 daily, working just 2 hours each morning before his regular job. The beauty of these AI side hustles is their accessibility. The startup costs are remarkably low, typically between $0 and $500, depending on which AI subscriptions you need. And the time investment? Most successful AI side hustlers report spending just 5 to 10 hours weekly, primarily on setting up systems and making strategic adjustments. Compare this to traditional side hustles like driving for rideshare services or delivering food, which require continuous time investment for every dollar earned. or traditional businesses that might need thousands in startup capital and months before seeing profit. AI side hustles offer a dramatically better return on both time and financial investment. Freelancers are particularly well positioned to benefit from AI tools. By incorporating AI writing assistance and data analysis into their workflows, they can produce high-quality content more efficiently, allowing them to take on more clients without working more hours. Many report doubling or even tripling their output and consequently their income without increasing their working time. The creator economy is another area experiencing explosive growth thanks to AI. Brands are investing heavily in creator marketing, with a projected 143% increase in spending by 2025. AI tools help creators produce more content, analyze performance data, and personalize fan experiences at scale. This means more opportunities to monetize audiences across multiple platforms simultaneously. AI-powered online courses represent yet another promising avenue. By creating and selling courses on platforms like Teachable, individuals can earn passive income while providing valuable educational content. AI assists in developing personalized course materials and learning experiences that adapt to each student's pace and style. What makes these opportunities particularly exciting is their adaptability. You can start small, with just a few hours per week, and scale up as you see results. Many successful AI side hustlers began by side-by-side comparison. Which path is right for you? Now that you've seen the potential of AI side hustles, you're probably wondering which of these no-degree paths is your fastest ticket to six figures. Truth is, the best path isn't universal. It depends entirely on your specific situation. Did you know that 76% of people who fail at these alternatives simply chose the wrong path for their personality type? Let's talk about making the right choice. I've developed a decision framework that matches your natural strengths to the career path where you'll actually succeed. Because here's the thing, the fastest route to six figures is always the one aligned with who you already are. When comparing these 5 different paths, digital marketing, aviation careers, tech skills, consulting, and AI-powered side hustles, we need to look beyond just the income potential. Each path has its unique entry requirements, learning curves, and lifestyle implications that will either energize you or drain you. First, let's break down the startup costs. Digital marketing and AI side hustles are the clear winners if you're on a tight budget. You can realistically get started with under $1,000 by focusing on free courses and affordable tools. Tech skills fall in the middle range, typically requiring $2,000 to $15,000 depending on whether you choose self-directed learning or a boot camp. Aviation careers represent the highest initial investment at $50,000 to $80,000, but this cost is still substantially lower than a 4-year degree. Next, consider the time to first income. Digital marketing can start generating revenue within 3 to 6 months, once you've built even a basic portfolio. AI side hustles can begin producing income even faster, sometimes within the first month. Tech skills typically take about 6 months before you're hireable, while aviation careers require 12 to 18 months before you'll see your first paycheck as a commercial pilot. Consulting falls somewhere in the middle, with 4 to 8 months being typical before landing your first paying clients. But here's where personality traits really come into play. Your natural strengths are the best predictor of which path will work for you. People who thrive in digital marketing tend to be creative problem solvers who enjoy constant change and can think analytically. Aviation careers attract those with methodical personalities who appreciate structure, procedures, and aren't afraid of high-pressure situations. Tech skills work best for people who enjoy logical puzzles, can focus deeply for hours, and don't mind continuous learning as technologies evolve. Consulting flourishes for individuals with strong communication skills who can build rapport quickly and enjoy teaching complex concepts to others. AI side hustles tend to work well for entrepreneurial minds who can spot opportunities and enjoy connecting different tools and systems together. The income ceiling varies dramatically across these paths as well. Aviation has the highest top end at $300,000 plus for senior pilots at major airlines. Tech and consulting both offer unlimited potential, with senior developers easily clearing $150,000 and established consultants potentially earning $300,000 plus annually. Digital marketing roles typically cap around $150,000 for corporate positions, though agency owners and independent consultants can earn much more. AI side hustles have the widest range, from a few $100s monthly to multiple six figures for those who scale effectively. Let's talk about lifestyle factors, because money isn't everything. Tech roles often offer the most flexibility with remote work options and flexible hours. Aviation provides incredible travel benefits, but comes with irregular schedules that can affect family life. Digital marketing positions are increasingly remote, but may require being on call for campaign management. Consulting gives you control over your client load, but might involve significant travel. AI side hustles offer the most freedom, but require self-discipline to maintain. The learning curve is another crucial consideration. Digital marketing is relatively accessible with a moderate learning curve. Most concepts are intuitive once you understand the principles. Aviation has a steep initial learning curve with rigorous technical knowledge requirements. Tech skills present a significant learning curve that varies by specialization, front-end development being more accessible than data science, for instance. Consulting has a low technical learning curve, but a steep client acquisition learning curve. AI side hustles have a variable learning curve, depending on which tools you're leveraging. When realistically assessing your starting point, be honest about three things: your current financial situation, your time availability, and your existing transferable skills. If you have limited savings, avoid paths with high startup costs like aviation. If you're currently working full-time, choose options with flexible learning. Schedules like digital marketing or AI side hustles. And if you already have industry experience, consulting might be your fastest route to six figures. Here's a strategy most people miss. You don't have to choose just one path. Combining multiple paths can create diversified income streams while leveraging skills across different areas. For example, learning tech skills makes you a more effective digital marketer. Digital marketing expertise helps you promote your consulting business. Consulting skills help you better package and sell your AI side hustle products. Let's address some common objections I hear. Many people worry about market saturation, especially in digital marketing and tech. While competition exists, specialized expertise always stands out. Focus on solving specific problems for specific industries rather than being a generalist. Others worry about age limitations, particularly for aviation careers. The reality is that many airlines are hiring older first-time pilots due to the severe shortage, with the average new commercial pilot now in their mid-30s. Some worry about the stability of these careers compared to traditional paths. The truth is that specialized skills in high-demand fields actually offer more security than general degrees in today's economy. When automation disrupts one area, adaptable professionals simply shift to adjacent opportunities. So which path offers the fastest route to six figures? For most people, it's digital marketing or tech skills, with both potentially reaching the six-figure threshold within 2 years. However, if you already have industry expertise, consulting can get you there in 12 to 18 months. Aviation takes longer, but offers the highest guaranteed income ceiling. AI side hustles have the widest variance. Some reach six figures within a year, while others never scale beyond supplemental income. The key metric isn't just which path reaches six figures fastest. It's which path you can execute most effectively based on your natural strengths. Someone with natural sales ability will reach six figures faster in consulting than they would struggling through coding boot camps, regardless of the average timeline for each path. Platform power. Where to sell your skills for maximum profit. Finding your perfect path is only half the battle. The other half is knowing exactly where to sell those skills. Did you know that 94% of companies now believe creator content delivers better ROI than traditional ads? This shift has created a gold rush of platforms willing to pay premium rates for skills you already have, even without a single degree or credential to your name. Let's be real about how the job market has completely transformed in the last few years. Remember the old days? You'd send your resume into the void, where the first filter was usually whether you had the right degree from the right school. No degree meant no interview, period. Your actual skills? Those barely mattered until you cleared the credential hurdle. But today's platform economy has completely flipped that script. Now, platforms connect skilled individuals directly with people who need those skills, and they don't care about your educational background. They care about what you can actually do. Your portfolio speaks louder than any diploma ever could. This is why understanding which platforms to target can literally double your income overnight. Two freelancers with identical skills can have drastically different earnings based solely on where they're selling those skills. It's not just what you know, it's where you're showcasing it. For digital marketers, platforms like Upwork and Fiverr offer immediate access to clients, but they're just the beginning. More specialized platforms like Growth Collective and Marketer Hire connect marketing specialists with companies willing to pay premium rates for proven skills. While beginners might start at $30 to $50 per hour on general platforms, these specialized marketplaces can fetch $75 to $100 per hour for the exact same skills. Tech professionals have even more options. Beyond the obvious choices like Upwork, platforms like TopTal and Arc specialize in connecting high-skilled developers with premium clients. While these platforms have more rigorous screening processes, they compensate with significantly higher rates, often 2 to 3 times what you'd earn on general freelance sites. Stack Overflow Jobs and GitHub Jobs also offer direct access to tech companies actively recruiting based on demonstrated skills rather than credentials. For those pursuing the consulting path, platforms like Clarity.fm let you monetize your expertise by the minute, charging for quick consultation calls. Expert networks like GLG connect industry specialists with companies needing specific insights. These platforms don't ask for your degree. They want to know what specialized knowledge you bring to the table. Content creators have perhaps the widest range of monetization platforms. Beyond YouTube and Instagram, platforms like Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee let you convert engaged followers into paying supporters. Teachable and Podia help you package your knowledge into courses that generate passive income. The brands investing in creator marketing have increased their spending by a staggering 143% over the past 4 years. But simply choosing the right platform isn't enough. You need to understand how to optimize your presence on these platforms to maximize your earnings. Each platform has its own algorithm that determines who gets visibility and who gets buried on page 50 of the search results. Take Upwork, for example. Their algorithm heavily weights client feedback, job completion rates, and responsive communication. Simply maintaining a 100% job completion rate and responding to messages within 24 hours can dramatically increase your visibility. Fiverr's algorithm, meanwhile, puts enormous emphasis on your gig descriptions and the keywords you use. Including the exact phrases potential clients search for can catapult you to the first page of results. When creating profiles on these platforms, focus on showcasing tangible results rather than educational credentials. Instead of saying, "I have a marketing degree," say, "I increased conversion rates by 32% for 3 e-commerce clients." Instead of mentioning your computer science background, showcase the actual apps or websites you've built with links to live examples. Your profile should be keyword optimized for each platform. Research the most common search terms in your niche and naturally incorporate them into your descriptions. On Upwork, clients often search for Facebook ads specialist rather than social media marketer. On Coursera, students search for Learn Python data analysis rather than programming instructor. When setting your rates, many beginners make the critical mistake of underpricing their services. While it's tempting to charge less to attract your first clients, this strategy often backfires. Lower rates frequently signal lower quality to clients. Instead, position yourself in the middle range for your skill level and differentiate based on specialized expertise or exceptional service. The real power move is to use these platforms as stepping stones rather than permanent homes. Many of the most successful non-degreed professionals follow a clear progression. They start on platforms to build client relationships, then gradually transition those clients to direct relationships outside the platform. Here's how this typically works. You deliver exceptional results for a platform client. Then after several successful projects, you can suggest a direct working relationship. While some platforms prohibit this in their terms of service, many professionals naturally evolve beyond platform dependency as their reputation grows. The end goal isn't to be the top-rated provider on Upwork. It's to use Upwork as a launchpad to build your own client base, where you keep 100% of what you earn rather than paying platform fees. Many freelancers start on these platforms charging $30 to $50 per hour, but within 1 to 2 years transition to direct client relationships at $100 to $150 per hour for the exact same work. What many people don't realize is that platforms like Skilljar and Coursera allow individuals to create and sell courses, monetizing their expertise without any formal degrees. The key is demonstrating practical knowledge that delivers real results, rather than theoretical concepts from a textbook. For consultants, success without credentials is increasingly common by focusing on network building and personal branding rather than formal qualifications. Non-credentialed consultants can thrive by leveraging their unique experiences and specialized knowledge while developing a distinctive voice in their industry. One of the most powerful yet underutilized advantages in today's platform economy is the strategic use of AI-driven tools. These tools can help freelancers automate routine tasks, enhance their productivity, and significantly improve the quality of their work. This technological advantage makes it far easier to compete effectively in the gig economy, even without formal education credentials. The beauty of these platforms is that they've created a true meritocracy. They don't care where you went to school or if you went at all. They care about your ability to deliver results. In fact, 70% of brands report that their highest ROI campaigns come from creator marketing, not traditional advertising created by degreed professionals. When brands see that creator content consistently outperforms traditional approaches, they're willing to pay premium rates for people who can deliver, regardless of their educational background. This fundamental shift has created unprecedented opportunities for those without degrees to earn substantial incomes, avoiding the pitfalls, common mistakes that derail success. While platforms have created this amazing meritocracy based on skills rather than degrees, there's a dark side to the story that few people discuss. The psychological barriers derailing college graduates are often even more devastating for those taking the self-taught route. These mental roadblocks might be the only thing standing between you and that six-figure income. For every success story we see on social media about someone landing a dream job without a degree, there are dozens who silently abandon their journey. It's not that these alternative paths don't work. They absolutely do. But most people fall into predictable traps that sabotage their progress before they ever get momentum. Let's pull back the curtain on what's really happening. These aren't just small bumps in the road. They're career-killing mistakes that nobody warns you about until it's too late. Imposter syndrome hits differently when you don't have a degree to fall back on. It's that nagging voice whispering, "Who are you to charge for these services? You didn't even go to college." This psychological barrier can be paralyzing, causing you to question your legitimacy even when you've mastered the necessary skills. I've seen talented developers delete entire portfolios because they convinced themselves their work wasn't professional enough, despite positive client feedback. Perfectionism is another dream killer that affects self-taught professionals disproportionately. Without the structure of formal education, many feel they need to compensate by creating flawless work. Take Alex, a self-taught UX designer who spent 8 months perfecting his portfolio website instead of applying for jobs. By the time he finally launched it, he'd burned through his savings and had to take a minimum wage job just to pay rent. The irony? Employers later told him they would have hired him based on his initial designs from month 2. Then there's comparison paralysis, constantly measuring yourself against others in your field until you're completely demoralized. It's especially toxic for those pursuing alternative career paths because social media only shows the highlight reels. You see the freelancer posting about their $10,000 month, but not the 6 months of struggle before that breakthrough. This constant comparison leads many to abandon their journey right before they would have succeeded. The strategic mistakes can be just as devastating as the psychological ones. Poor niche selection tops the list. Many people choose a path that's either too broad, "I'm a general digital marketer," or completely misaligned with market demand. Jessica, a talented writer, spent months building a portfolio of creative fiction samples when the high-paying opportunities were in technical writing and UX copy. Her skills were valuable, but she was targeting an audience with limited buying power. Underpricing is another common trap. Self-taught professionals often charge far less than their work is worth, creating unsustainable business models from day one. This isn't just about making less money. It fundamentally changes how clients view and treat you. Ryan, a self-taught programmer, initially charged $25 per hour for web development work that should have commanded $85 plus. Not only did he struggle financially, but clients treated his work as low priority and expendable. When he finally raised his rates to market value, client respect and project quality improve dramatically. Scattered focus derails even the most talented individuals. Without the structure of a degree program, it's tempting to jump between learning paths as new opportunities arise. I've seen people simultaneously try to master 3 programming languages, digital marketing, and video editing, making progress in none of them. This diluted effort prevents reaching the expertise level where the real money is made. The market rewards depth far more than breadth. Perhaps the most frustrating mistake is inadequate portfolio development. Many self-taught professionals create portfolios that showcase their skills, but fail to demonstrate business impact. Technical abilities alone won't command premium rates. You need to show how those skills solve real business problems. A well-constructed portfolio answers the question, how will hiring me improve your bottom line? Not just, what can I do? These pitfalls aren't theoretical. They have real consequences. Thomas spent over $8,000 on courses and a year of his life pursuing a career in digital marketing. But because he never specialized and kept his prices too low, he barely made minimum wage before giving up. The tragedy? His skills were actually in high demand. He just positioned himself poorly in the market. But here's the good news. These pitfalls are entirely avoidable with the right strategies. For imposter syndrome, the most effective approach is building an evidence bank, a documented collection of your wins, client testimonials, and completed projects. When self-doubt creeps in, this concrete evidence counters the emotional narrative that you're not qualified. Even keeping a simple document with positive feedback can create psychological armor against imposter syndrome. To combat perfectionism, implement time boxing and forced shipping dates. Give yourself strict deadlines. This project goes live on Friday, perfect or not, and stick to them religiously. The habit of completion is far more valuable than the pursuit of perfection. Many successful developers use the minimum viable portfolio approach, creating just enough work to demonstrate competence, then iterating based on real-world feedback. For comparison paralysis, the solution is strategic ignorance. Limit social media consumption related to your field to just 15 minutes weekly. Instead, find 1 or 2 mentors who are just a few steps ahead of you, not the industry superstars, and focus exclusively on their guidance. This creates a realistic roadmap rather than an intimidating mountain that seems impossible to climb. Strategic mistakes have equally concrete solutions. For niche selection, use the demand validation method. Before investing significant time in a specialization, research job postings and freelance contracts in that area. How many positions exist? What's the average pay? How many applications do these listings receive? Data should drive this decision, not passion alone. To avoid underpricing, use the market minimum approach. Research the average rates for your skill level, then start at the 40th percentile, not the bottom. This ensures you're not the cheapest option while acknowledging your unconventional background. As you gain experience, quickly move up to market rates, using client results to justify increases. For scattered focus, implement the 90 of 10 rule. 90% of your learning time goes to your core skill, while 10% can be used for exploring complementary skills. This maintains focus while still allowing for growth. Many successful tech professionals without degrees attribute their success to becoming known for one specific skill before expanding their repertoire. Portfolio development should follow the PAR framework: problem, action, result. Each project should clearly articulate the problem you solved, the specific actions you took, and the measurable results you achieved. This business outcome focus dramatically increases your perceived value, especially without formal credentials. The most powerful strategy is finding a mentor who has successfully navigated your chosen path. Regular people who failed initially often succeeded dramatically after connecting with someone who could help them avoid these common traps. Getting personalized feedback on your approach can save months or years of trial and error. The 90-day implementation roadmap, from zero to income. Finding a mentor might be the single most powerful strategy, but what happens when you combine it with a precise, day-by-day roadmap? That difference between people who just try alternative career paths and those who actually succeed often comes down to structured implementation. The countless stories of failed attempts share a common thread: random effort without a clear system. Let's face it, when you're starting something new without a degree, that blank page is terrifying. Where do you even begin? Do you learn skills first? Build a portfolio. Network. Most people bounce between YouTube tutorials, online courses, and conflicting advice until they get overwhelmed and quit. But what if you had a clear blueprint showing exactly what to do each day for the next 90 days? This isn't about vague advice like hustle harder or follow your passion. I'm talking about an actual roadmap with daily tasks that transform confusion into clarity and potential into profit. This 90-day system breaks down into 3 distinct 30-day phases, each with specific goals and actions. Phase 1, days 1 to 30 foundation. Building the first 30 days are all about setting yourself up for success. During this phase, you'll identify your specific niche and establish clear, measurable goals. This isn't just, I want to make money. It's about researching potential career paths and understanding exactly which skills will bring the highest return on your time investment. For digital marketers, this means choosing between specializations like SEO, paid ads, or email marketing. Tech folks might decide between front-end development, UX design, or data analytics. The key is being specific. The more focused your niche, the faster you'll see results. By day 30, you should have completed at least 2 foundational courses in your chosen field and created the beginnings of a basic portfolio. For digital marketers, this might be setting up a Google Analytics certification. For tech skills, it could be completing a basic coding project on GitHub. Each day during this phase has assigned tasks. For instance, days 1 to 5 might involve researching job boards to identify in-demand skills and competitive pay rates. Days 6 to 10 focus on selecting learning resources, while days 11 to 30 combine daily skill building with foundational projects. Phase 2, days 31 to 60 skill development. The second 30-day block is where the real transformation happens. Now that you have your foundation, you'll engage in deliberate, daily practice to build marketable skills. This isn't passive learning. It's about completing specific projects that demonstrate your abilities to potential clients or employers. Each career path requires different daily activities. Digital marketers might be running test campaigns and analyzing results. Tech learners could be building portfolio projects or contributing to open-source repositories. Aviation students would be logging flight hours and studying for exams. The key to this phase is consistency. The system requires daily learning blocks, even if it's just 1 to 2 hours. These aren't random tutorials, but structured learning experiences on platforms like Coursera or Skillshare that build your skills systematically. By day 60, you should have completed several intermediate projects and be ready to showcase your work. For consultants, this might mean creating case studies of hypothetical client problems. For tech roles, it could be a functional web application that solves a real problem. During this phase, accountability becomes crucial. Peer groups or mentorship relationships keep you on track when motivation flags. Tools like Trello or Asana help organize daily tasks and milestones, turning abstract goals into concrete actions. Phase 3, days 61 to 90 income generation. The final 30 days focus on monetizing your newly acquired skills. This is where many self-taught professionals get stuck. They have the skills but struggle to convert them into actual income. During this phase, you'll develop your personal brand, create profiles on relevant platforms, and begin actively seeking opportunities. For freelancers, this means setting up profiles on platforms that match your skills. For those seeking employment, it's optimizing your LinkedIn and portfolio website. The daily tasks now shift toward outreach and opportunity creation. Digital marketers might be reaching out to small businesses, offering free audits to demonstrate value. Tech professionals could be contributing to open-source projects to build visibility. Consultants would be scheduling networking coffees and discovery calls. By day 90, your goal is to secure your first paying opportunity. This might not be your dream job or highest paying client, but it represents the crucial transition from learning to earning. What makes this system different is its emphasis on practical experience. Throughout all 3 phases, you're encouraged to seek volunteer work, internships, or pro bono projects that align with your career goals. These real-world applications dramatically enhance your employability compared to theory-based learning alone. The accountability structures built into the system prevent the common pitfall of abandoned goals. Weekly check-ins with accountability partners or mentors ensure you stay on track and adapt strategies as needed. The roadmap includes templates for these check-ins, focusing on celebrating wins, addressing challenges, and refining next steps. The tools required for implementation are surprisingly accessible. For learning, platforms like Coursera, Udemy, and free YouTube channels provide structured education. Project management tools like Trello or Asana, both offering free tiers, help track daily tasks. Networking happens on LinkedIn and industry-specific communities. What's powerful about this approach is the psychological clarity it provides. Instead of facing an overwhelming career change, you're just focusing on today's tasks. The roadmap breaks the journey into manageable daily actions that compound over time. By the end of 90 days, the transformation is remarkable. You'll have developed marketable skills, created a portfolio demonstrating your abilities, and ideally secured your first income-generating opportunity. More importantly, you'll have established the habits and systems needed for continued growth. Unlike traditional education that stretches over years with delayed payoff, this system is designed for quick implementation and rapid results. It doesn't promise overnight success, but it does provide a clear path to generating income within a realistic time frame. The key difference between this approach and random self-education is the structure. Every day has assigned tasks. Every week has specific milestones. Every phase has clear deliverables. This structure eliminates decision fatigue and the paralysis that comes from not knowing what to do next. Remember that this roadmap isn't just about learning, it's about strategic implementation. The focus is always on taking actions that lead directly to income generation, not collecting certificates or theoretical knowledge. The education landscape is changing dramatically. With alternative paths like coding boot camps and vocational training on the rise, you now have legitimate options to gain valuable skills without the massive time and financial commitment of a 4-year degree. The math speaks for itself. The average student loan debt has ballooned to over $38,000 per borrower, with America's total student debt surpassing a staggering $1.7 trillion. Meanwhile, skilled trades are facing labor shortages, creating golden opportunities for those willing to pursue vocational education. The choice is yours. Spend 4 years and 6 figures on a degree with uncertain returns, or invest a fraction of that time and money into targeted skills that employers desperately need right now. Take action today by choosing the path that matches your strengths and download our 90-day roadmap from the description. Remember, your earning potential isn't limited by your credentials. It's determined by